Gentlemen, good evening. Goedenavond. Welcome. It is an honor and a privilege to see everybody this evening, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, Lionesses. Welcome to our 7th Startup Africa event and our 3rd one here in The Hague. And it is always an honor and a privilege to be here. My name is Nomalanga, Intombi Bala Malanga, isizukulwane sakoJobe. And to those that are watching us online, thank you so much for joining us. You are not missing anything. There is absolutely no distance online and in the spirit. So much has happened in our Lionesses of Africa community. We're sitting at over 1.8 million women entrepreneurs across all African countries. And of course, a lot has happened around the world. We have a well-known saying at Lionesses of Africa, and it says, we go further together. And so I'd like to start by giving a special acknowledgement to all our valued partners for Startup Night Africa here in the Netherlands. Firstly, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, please give them a round of applause. We definitely could have not walked this journey without you, and we are here now. Peter Derrek, our Ambassador, Women's Rights and Gender Equality, Director, Social Development at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He'll be providing his welcome remarks to get us officially started this evening, and that will be shortly. He will be joined by our special guest. We met him just earlier, another valued partner of Lionesses of Africa. Please welcome Jules Ngankam, and he is the Group CEO of African Guarantee Fund. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is such an honor to have the two gentlemen with us. Thank you for your support and your teams, and especially around our shared vision to empower women entrepreneurs to grow and access critical growth funding. Welcome also to the many distinguished ambassadors and officials, I looked to the side earlier, who are joining us this evening from the different African countries that are represented whilst they are here in The Hague. South Africa, where are my South Africans? Sanbonani, Dumelang, Molweni, Thobela. Nigeria, Alua, good evening. Tanzania, Rwanda, Ghana, Botswana. Burundi, Ethiopia, Kenya, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Mozambique, Zambia, Angola, Côte d'Ivoire. Good evening. Thank you. And as I always say, we welcome the hundreds of those viewing us via live link, that is Zoom, from the African continent. Can we quickly just wave at them? They can see us. They want to know we are here. So thank you for watching, and thank you for giving them that royal wave. And so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Lionesses of Africa's founder and CEO, Melanie Hawken, to say a few words to welcome you all. Thank you, Melanie.
It's always fantastic standing here. This is I shouldn't have a favorite, but this is one of my favorite places to be in the world. This venue, these amazing people, and this environment which is so supportive of women entrepreneurs. For that, I thank you, and it is why we chose this place to launch our European HQ at Lionesses of Africa. So thank you for the amazing welcome you've given to us. Welcome to Startup Night Africa. As Nomalanga says, it's our 3rd here in the Netherlands, and a country that is known for its vibrant startup ecosystem, its commitment, which we really admire, to women's economic empowerment and gender equality, and that's why we made it our European HQ and why we are here. As you know, an event like tonight's is a key output of Lionesses of Africa's work in its access to markets and investment program. And it aims to connect high-growth women entrepreneurs on the continent and here in the Netherlands to each other, importantly. There's a lot of business to be done there. We have a very big community. And also to new market and investment opportunities. And a central pillar of the work that we do is to create a strong, vibrant pipeline of investment-ready women entrepreneurs from our almost 2 million strong Women Entrepreneur Network, who can take advantage of initiatives such as Startup Night Africa to really get the growth funding they need. And we know it's still a challenge out there for entrepreneurs, fact, and it's certainly a challenge for women entrepreneurs on the African continent, and we want to change that. So I'd like to say, Startup Night Africa is just the output. Lionesses of Africa is laser focused on capacity building to build more and more women entrepreneurs who are investment ready. That's the critical word. Our capacity development and mentoring programs, our knowledge hub, our publications, our information resources, our training and network events, they're all aimed at supporting this goal, which is at Lionesses of Africa, we see that goal as being really simple. For investors in the room, we want to ensure you see and meet exciting, investment-ready, women-led business opportunities. We want to see that money flowing. For our women entrepreneurs, we want to ensure that you get all of the incredible opportunities to get visibility, to get connectivity to those that can actually drive that investment into your businesses, and importantly, get you into the right places where that money is flowing. To the policymakers here in the room this evening and watching on live stream, and a big welcome to all of you joining us, we want to demonstrate that by investing in women entrepreneurs, you are creating meaningful and lasting economic growth, creating jobs, and ensuring gender equality and empowerment across the African continent and beyond. I'd like to say a special welcome to the hundreds of lionesses joining us online, many of whom are actually either on a capacity development program right now and are getting ready to be funding ready, or have graduated over the years and are already there. They are investment ready. They are waiting to meet you. They have fantastic businesses that are crying out to make the connections that you have and to get that all-important funding for growth. So our objective is simple. This evening is not just to stimulate investment connections, market access and business opportunities for these exciting high-growth women entrepreneurs. It's also about creating that ripple effect. When they succeed in getting access to growth funding and achieve their business growth goals, and those goals are ambitious, they provide a line of sight to the thousands of other incredible women entrepreneurs out there that are also ready to grow their businesses. That line of sight to those who are making it, those who are succeeding, those who are getting funded, is critical. So it doesn't just transform their own lives or their own businesses, it transforms communities, it transforms the continent as a whole. So I'd like to encourage all of you. This is an opportunity to get to know us, get to know the incredible women entrepreneurs in our network, get that funding flowing to us. That's the incredible thing. Sit back, listen to these amazing lionesses pitching their businesses. Let's connect, let's do business, and importantly, let's get that business funding flowing. We don't just want this to be another occasion where we all say, where's the money? Where's the money going to women entrepreneurs? Let's actually make it flow. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Melanie. Thank you for really just setting the scene, the what, the why, the how, and we always look forward to the end of the evening and the incredible stories that we walk away from here. I'd like to welcome somebody, we call him a real champion of women entrepreneurs, to come and say a few words. The last time we did this, he was like, okay, so can we do this again? As Peter Derrek comes up onto stage, let's give him an African welcome. Thank you, Peter Derrek.
Thank you very much, Nomalanga, for that African welcome. And thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Team Lionesses of Africa, for bringing us together tonight. You have really outdone yourselves with tonight's lineup of brilliant women entrepreneurs. And it's a genuine honor for me to be part of the third Startup Night Africa, and I cannot wait to see this evening unfold. I was here last time, and this is truly one of the highlights of my year. And I'm not kidding, because I also had tickets for tonight's Champions League match, which I'm going to miss. So welcome, excellencies, representatives from the private sector, civil society, government, alumni, online community, dear guests. Welcome on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And a big thank you to you, Jules, CEO of the African Guarantee Fund, for making it to The Hague. It's not your first time, as you told me. And I look forward to learning more about the innovative work you do to support women entrepreneurs on the African continent. Startup Night works. And I know I don't have to convince you all. The numbers speak for themselves. Over 60% of the Women Entrepreneurs Showcase at last year's edition have now obtained growth funding or new funded project partnerships for their businesses. And I look forward to hearing tonight from 6 brilliant African entrepreneurs, the sisters Mo and Michel, Diane, Anne, Claudia, and Nkem from South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Eswatini, and Nigeria. And I equally look forward to hearing from Ines, Marthe, Rahel, Linda, and Anita, 5 Dutch businesswomen. We wish you well on your journey to expand your businesses to the Netherlands, to Europe, or to Africa. And I'm convinced that tonight you will blow us away. I trust everybody in this room agrees that investing in women entrepreneurs is important, but it's also good business. Research shows that women-led startups generate twice as much revenue per dollar invested compared to male-led startups. Yet, less than 2% of global venture capital funding went to startups founded solely by women. We know that women entrepreneurs face many challenges, from legal barriers to limited access to capital and technology. Discrimination on the basis of gender is unfortunately very much present in our societies. The world that women live in is still very different from the world that men inhabit. As we recalled here last year, we will only reach gender equality when I am celebrating my 188th birthday. You're all invited, by the way, in the year 2154. And I'm fully aware that I have not experienced any of the consequences of gender discrimination myself. But we all know that fighting for gender equality is not just the right thing to do, it is also the smart thing to do. We can all benefit, we can all contribute, and we should all make it our priority, especially in these times when women's rights are under pressure. So I would like to take a brief moment to address my fellow men in this room. Guys, we need to step up our game. We need to ask ourselves the question, what have we done for gender equality today? And let me give you a small hint. The correct answer to that question is not, I had other urgent things to do. We know that women entrepreneurs are the catalyst for positive change. And as the Netherlands, we are a proud supporter of women entrepreneurship. My colleagues Anne and Marchel will discuss this during their fireside chat. And I will not preempt their conversation. Let me just mention that my own department is currently developing a new financial framework for African women entrepreneurs in the informal sector at the start of their careers. We will focus on adequate business trainings as well as on challenging negative gender norms. And we hope to launch the instrument with a budget of 55 million euros in the first half of 2026. Tonight is a night of ideas, a night of innovation, a night of opportunity. We are all part of this dynamic community. We can all contribute. And in the end, we are also going to ask you all what your contribution is going to be. Melanie, you are a woman on a mission. You are unstoppable. You make startup dreams a reality. Lionesses of Africa, you have been opening many doors for women entrepreneurs. You have amplified many voices. Your energy is contagious. Your professionalism is inspiring. So let us tonight unlock new possibilities. Let us be inspired. Let us learn and let us connect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peter Derrek, I pick up from your talk. It's not just the right thing to do. It is the smart thing to do. In Africa, we have a saying, if you empower one woman, there are 10 women behind her or 10 other people behind her that will benefit. So thank you very much, always, as the ministry office. Thank you. So speaking on the power of partnership, as I began further together, I'd like to now welcome Jules Ngankam, Group CEO of African Guarantee Fund, to come and share his considerable insights on how we bridge the funding gap for women entrepreneurs. I love the speed to the stage because he knows the women are looking for that partnership. Thank you, Jules.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so it's a great honor to be here today in front of you to make an address on the funding gap for women entrepreneurs in Africa. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Lionesses of Africa. Melanie, thank you for all the work you are doing. And also to the government of Netherlands through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Peter, thank you very much, for all the effort, for all the support you've given to the African Guarantee Fund. So we are here today for the Startup Night for Africa to support the women entrepreneurs. You've mentioned the challenges that the women they are going through in Africa, and I can tell those challenges are many. And when we see all the women today here that managed to come here today to pitch, to present your program, I can tell you those women, they are beating the odds every single day in Africa. And just to give you some statistics, because we like to say that Africa is a country of imbalances. We have so many imbalances in Africa. And sometimes we wonder how that is even possible. So the first one is participation versus contribution in economic activity. Women in Africa, they have the highest participation in economic activity in the world. In the world, women in Africa, the highest participation in economic activity. And why is that? It's because, the notion of housewife doesn't exist in Africa. It doesn't mean anything. Because when we say housewife, what we mean is the one taking care of the house. But women in Africa, in addition to taking care of the house, they always run a business on the side. They sell clothes, they sell fruit, they run a small restaurant, they sell the homemade jewelry. So meaning they all participate. So housewife doesn't mean anything. But where is the imbalance is that when we look at the contribution of African women in the GDP, is the lowest in the world. So on one hand, they have the highest participation in economic activity in the world. But on the other hand, they have the lowest contribution in the GDP. That is really a problem. And then, when you see that, you always ask the question, what if? What if they were able to achieve their full potential? And what is the reason for that? Because the majority of women, they are in the informal sector. 70% of businesses in the informal sector in Africa are owned or led by women. And because they are in the informal sector, their contribution is not well accounted for. And also in terms of productivity, their productivity is very low. This is one of the imbalance. The second one, we like to talk about food security, the agricultural sector. Women in Africa, they've understood that this is the way to go. Agriculture, food security. When you look at the workforce in the agricultural sector, women, they represent two-thirds of the agricultural sector in Africa, meaning every time when we see food in our plate, two-thirds of the women, they contributed to that food. But again, we have a huge imbalance. Land ownership. Women own only 3% of agricultural land in Africa. So on one hand, they represent two-thirds of the workforce in agriculture. But on the other hand, they own only 3% of the land. Again, what if? What if they had access to more land? Because, a study has shown that productivity increases when the farmers own land that they cultivate. So what if they could have, we're not asking to have all lands, but 3%, honestly, is too low. Can we push it to 10, to 15%? Another imbalance, income. Income versus how they spend that income. Again, in Africa, women reinvest 90% of their income in their family and their community. 90%. For men, it's 40% as a comparison. But at the same time, they have the lowest income in the world. So when you look at income by gender, by continent, African women, they come at the very bottom. But they are the ones who reinvest the majority in their family, but at the same time, the one who have the lowest income. Another what if they could get more income? What will be the impact on the community, on their family, on the society, on our countries? Something has to be done. And then the last one, the last imbalance, entrepreneurship, and that's why we are here today. When it comes to entrepreneurship, Africa has the highest rate of female entrepreneurs also in the world. 25% of women in Africa have started their own business. In Asia is 6%, America 12%, in Europe 13%. So we can be proud of that. 25% of women in Africa have started their own business. Why? It's out of necessity. They cannot count on corporate job. So they understood that they have to create their own job. But again, do they have access to finance? Only 5% of loan application from women-owned or led businesses got accepted. 5%. For male is 40%. So do we see the gap again? They are very courageous. They want to start business, but no bank want to finance them. So this is also something that we need to change. But again, what are the solutions? And this is where AGF, we come into play to support women entrepreneurship in Africa. So how do we look at it? The way we look at it is that on one side, we have the demand side. The demand is from the SMEs, the women-owned or led businesses. They're the one demanding access to finance. And on the other hand, we have the supply. The supply are the banks, the financial institution. They are the ones supplying this financing to those entrepreneurs. But the link is broken, and our goal is how do we make sure that they can communicate, the banks, the entrepreneur, they can come together to get access to finance. Melanie, I like when you were saying earlier, you want funds. But the fund is there. It's not just moving to the right place. And this is what we want to unlock. And at AGF, we do on the demand side, we help women to formalize. Sometimes they don't want to formalize because of the tax issue, but we explain to them, these are the benefit from being formal, and also these are the benefit of not being formal. You avoid paying taxes, and you compare. We take them through the whole process, understanding how to do tax filing. We help them to improve bookkeeping. This is also very critical. They need to make sure that they do proper bookkeeping. The banks, they need that in order to do a proper risk assessment. We want them to be bankable, and this is the Lionesses of Africa has been one of our very key partners, supporting women across the continent to be bankable. We've signed an agreement, with the Lionesses in Africa in Kenya with Absa Bank. The job that they've been doing is just fantastic, giving, hope to those women that your project is bankable if we go through a certain process. We want them to acquire assets. We want to increase their productivity, to leverage on technology, to have access to market, and also to have access to finance and various financial services. These are for the women, own or led businesses. But we need also to talk to the commercial bank, because we want both of them to come together. So with the commercial bank, what we do as AGF, we de-risk their exposure. So we cover from 50 to 75% to give them more comfort, telling them that the risk that you are taking is worth it. We also help the bank to reduce the interest rate, because risk is not the only challenge, it's also the cost. Sometimes it can be very costly. We want the bank to design tailored product that fits with the need of the women, fit with their family condition, so that they don't have maybe to go to the branches, fit with the fact that they cannot provide collateral, they cannot provide financial statement. And we want also the bank to meet the regulatory type of requirement. And we believe that by doing all that, all these imbalances, we will be able to reduce them. So as AGF, we have been able to unlock $1 billion of financing to women over the last 3 years, thanks to the support from different donors, including the government of Netherlands. We are very grateful for that, very thankful. That has been done through 191 financial institutions in 39 countries in Africa. We have supported 15,000 SMEs, and we will keep on working together with those financial institutions to do more. So as I conclude, one word, I would like to say one word is partnership. Partnership is key. No institution alone can achieve those challenging goals. And then we are committed to building a strong partnership with the financial institution, the banks, the SMEs, the entrepreneur, the regulator, the central bank, the government, the policymaker, to ensure that we unlock the potential of women-owned led of businesses in Africa. To the entrepreneur in the room, as I said earlier, you being here today means that you were able to beat so many odds. So this is your platform. Use this platform to showcase your vision, your impact, your growth potential, and your financial need. We are here to support you. Thank you for believing in what you do. Thank you for transforming our continent. You know, our continent has been like a bird trained to fly with one wing. We have to fly with both wings. You know, and that's why we need you. And again, it comes to the what if. You unlock your potential what if for our continent. Thank you to the organizer, and thank you once again to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, you were very welcoming. If your plan was to make sure that I come back to Netherlands, to Den Haag, I can say you have succeeded. I will be here all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jules. Reinforcing once again the key themes of Startup Night Africa. It's all about the power of partnership to make positive change happen for the women entrepreneurs in this room at policy level, funding level, and at business level. The one question, what if? So we get into the fireside chat, and I want to introduce the two incredible people that I will be chatting to. Anne Le Guellec, Marchel, Gerrmann, please come and join me on stage. I'd like you to sit there. Thank you. Are these chairs? Thank you. Right, to those that are watching us online, I hope you're going to find this fireside chat very valuable. Take down notes, record, do whatever you need to do. So I'm going to introduce, it is Anne Le Guellec, Director, International Enterprise Department, and Marcel Gerrmann, Director, Sustainable Development, Economic Development, and Ambassador for Business and Development. My first question, why are you both here? Why now? Why today? Marcel?
Yeah, well, thank you. First of all, I'm here because there's so much energy in the room. I'm here already. I was talking to some of the business women. Some of them I knew already, and it's great to sense that there is so much positivism and so much energy in the room. So I think that's the first reason. Secondly, I would like to thank you for inviting me for this important evening where we highlight actually the business potential of women entrepreneurs. In 2023, we had the first Startup Night in Africa, organized together with the Lionesses of Africa. And I want actually to congratulate everyone with the results achieved over the last 2 years, but also I think the event has grown. I think it's really moving in the right direction. As ambassador for business and development, I'm mandated to support sustainable economic development in the countries that we work with. And of course, women entrepreneurs are a very important part of that agenda. And as someone earlier said, it's not just right, it is also the wise thing to do. Studies show that if we address the gender financing gap for African entrepreneurs and other constraints, that actually the economy of Africa would grow by 10 to 30%. So it's also the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But lastly, why I'm here is really to learn and to hear from those wonderful entrepreneurs, and also to see where can we do things different, where can we do things better, and maybe also what are the things we need to change. So
fantastic. I love that. How do we do things better? How do we move where we need to move? And we were chatting earlier. Thank you for joining us. Why are you here?
Because you invited me.
Oh, thank you for accepting our invite.
Well, I'm here because I heard that so many powerful African women would be here in the room.
Yeah.
And usually I work with other parts of the world. I'm trying to improve the Dutch economy, helping Dutch companies to grow abroad. And if you want to grow, you need diversity. Absolutely. If you want to grow, you need women. So that's why I'm here tonight. In the Netherlands, we have also a lot of challenges for women to grow, even if it's easier probably than on your continent. Yep. We also made a lot of studies, and we came to the conclusion that a company led by a woman have much more successful results, earn much more money, take much more resilient decisions. So yeah, that's the answer basically. And tonight I think it's about networking, and I know that it's not the best side of women to be able to network. They can do that with friends, but to promote their company, they're not so good. So I think it's good to learn on this one.
I love that. We push them. These women are going to get up onto the stage, but I like your point about resilient. When you have a woman, she pushes even harder. So I want to just set the stage around this conversation. Two directors with separate at first sight, unrelated agendas. We've already heard one is focused on Dutch entrepreneurs and economic growth for here in the Netherlands, and the other on sustainable economic development in low and middle income countries. So why are you here together, especially for this event on women entrepreneur? I know we've invited you, but I want to go a little bit deeper into why.
Well, I think it's an important question, and I'm happy that I have an opportunity to explain that. I think we focus on market development. Yeah. And how do we do that? We do that by contribute to strengthening the business climate in our partner countries. And we do that, for instance, by improving access to finance, by infrastructure, by skill gaps, addressing skill gaps, by trade barriers, help removing trade barriers. And of course, that means that working with women entrepreneurs is also important, because there's a lot of untapped potential in the economy that we want to help unleash. And growing those markets, working on this kind of market development also means that there will be more opportunities for partnerships, for working together of African and Dutch companies for win-win partnerships. And if we want to really have that win-win partnership, it also means that our two departments have to work together.
#partnership, and that's why we're in this room, yeah? And on your end?
Yes, I totally agree. That's the reason why we work together. And I really believe that helping Dutch company to grow is not only about making money, it's helping the sustainable development. When a company is sustainable, it's able to grow, to move further. And trade means more money as well, and more development and more sustainability. So and I think female entrepreneurship is the example how we can bring money and sustainability together.
Yep.
But we need to find, we need to help for access financing. I think we have the same challenge when we speak about Dutch women or African women. That's why we really need to work together, because we can learn from each other as well.
We've talked about the why, the what. Now I want to understand, as other women entrepreneurs are watching from the continent, online, and probably all other countries across the world. Between the two of you, please tell us success stories. I mean, the previous speakers, spoke about what if? What if we can just kind of push our women a little bit? Let's talk to success stories. I'm going to start with you, Anne. Give us examples. We've got women that will pitch not so long ago, but what success stories have you come up with in this journey?
Well, I'm French. I've been living in the Netherlands for years. I've been posted in Canada and in Mexico, not in Africa yet. I hope maybe in the next years. And I've been working a lot on gender equity and on women entrepreneurship and women empowerment. I think the women who inspired me the most were the Mexican women. It's very complicated to be a woman in Mexico. Yeah. It's very dangerous. Having your money, having your own company, it's not normal. Mm-hmm. And I had the chance to be invited by a group of 80 women in Oaxaca. And they were having a market of food. And they had a big problem because the market didn't have access to water anymore.
Sure.
So they were trying to find a way, otherwise the market would close. They wouldn't have money anymore to raise their children. And they heard that the Netherlands was a country great with water. So they contacted us at the embassy asking for a solution. And it was great to be able to find a Dutch company, able to find the solution, a bit of money from the embassy for the pilot. And then after a few years, the market in Oaxaca opens again. Sure. And that was because of the patience and passion of this Mexican woman.
Patience and passion. Are you listening to that? Please give the story a round of applause. Marcel, tell us, impact. We're talking impactful moments related to this topic of sustainability, funding women, and really just trying to close that gap.
Well, actually, I learned the lesson that it is smart to invest in women entrepreneurship early on in my career. My first posting abroad was actually in Kenya, and there I was actually managing a large microcredit program. And we supported farming families and farmers in West Pokot, which is actually a rural area in Kenya, which is not the easiest to be an entrepreneur. And what we learned there from that program is actually that the women they actually stood out compared to the men in two aspects. First of all, they had almost 100% repayment score. So there was a really high repayment. That was really, I thought, wow. So it was also from an economic reason, a very good reason to invest in invest in female enterprises. And the second thing I learned there is that we also did some study to see how they use the income. A lot of that income is actually invested in the family. So actually the whole family, also from a social point of view, benefited. One more, a little bit more recent example is actually when I was ambassador in Mali, we were investing in young male and female entrepreneurs. And there was this lady, Penta Tiam, and she founded a garage where she basically a successful garage in electromechanics. Wow. And actually there I learned that talent and performance don't have a gender, and I was really inspired. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love these stories, because you're going to hear more stories from the continent and also from the Netherlands sitting right in this room. I would be amiss, as I want to wrap up my fireside chat. Let's talk to policy and practice, because we can't have a conversation without policy and practice. How does the Ministry of Foreign Affairs approach support for women entrepreneurs, or include gender considerations, because you literally departed on that point, Marcel, with its foreign trade and development agenda, and I'm going to just ask you to dovetail that as you ended.
Well, I think from our end, we support, of course, economic empowerment and women entrepreneurship. And how we do that? We do that actually in all our activities. We use a kind of gender lens. And that basically means that we explicitly assess how the program is going to affect different genders, how they are affected. And of course, we do that with all our partners and programs, and many are here represented. I think we have FMO, Invest International, the Dutch Good Growth Fund, we have IDH, we have RVO, Farm Access, the Challenge Fund, and many of those, maybe you are aware of those programs. And actually, they all work with this kind of gender lens. And one other example of that is, for instance, also the affirmative finance action for women, AFAWA, of the African Development Bank, where we actually try to reduce the financing gap for women entrepreneurs by 5 billion in the end of 2026. And of course, I think it's quite impressive. More needs to be done, but I think we're on our way. Thank you.
Thank you. I love the fact that more needs to be done, but we're on our way. And on your end, how are we working this gender lens in terms of your policies for our women entrepreneurs?
Well, basically, women entrepreneurs can have access to all the finance and the instrument we have. But we also came to the conclusion that many programs are not adapted for women. So we decided to make a tailor-made program, and that means that we have special events, special network events to foster a community. We're trying to find, we have the role models, but they need to show themselves. Many women are not aware of the fact that they are role model, and I think we really need this one to show what they can, to learn, to teach to younger women. What we do, and I'm very proud of it, next week on Monday I will fly to New York with a group of 15 Dutch young women entrepreneurs trying to find some investors in the US. We did that last year in LA and 2 years ago in France, and the results were incredible. Many women were able to find money, but also to find some clients to start a company abroad. So that. It's a lot of work, it's challenging, it's very complicated to convince the politician, to convince some colleagues, but we managed to do it, and I hope we will do much more.
I wish we could have 2 hours more to just have this conversation, because there's a lot of detail. But as we round off, I just want you to give us your view on collaboration. As we round this off, what does collaboration produce when people come together? I'll keep saying #further together. Marcel, as you round up?
Yeah, I think for me, working together means, I would like to give an example,
yes,
if you allow me, is that actually we work, and I think it's a kind of our flagship program, is actually the combi tracks and I would like to give we do the combi tracks in 14 countries. And what does that mean? It means that we work in a kind of sectoral program together. We have a kind of strategy for a sector or subsector, and then we work with the Dutch diamond. What does that mean, the Dutch diamond? It means that we work with the private sector, we work with knowledge institutions, we work with entrepreneurs, of course, and also the government, and we do that also in our partner countries. In this example, we do this with Kenya. So we have Kenyan entrepreneurs and Dutch entrepreneurs, and they work together in the health sector, and I think the life science and the health combi track I'm referring to. And of course, that is a sector that is very, very relevant for women and women entrepreneurs. And I believe that this is really an example of where we can work together, slightly more strategic, where there is really potential for everyone, but we have to work together, and we have to do that in a kind of deliberate fashion.
Deliberate, I like that, intentional. As I round off with you, Anne, your example and your take on collaboration #partnership.
Yeah, I think I would have another example, but I think it's the same as explanation as Marcel did. It's about public-private partnership, because at the government we can do many things, but we don't have the finance or we don't have the network all the time. I think one of the examples I should give is the Code V, V for woman, vrouw in Dutch.
Okay.
And it's a partnership with our Ministry, Economic Affairs, Financials Affairs, but also ABN AMRO, the bank. They have the money, I heard. Yes. And Invest International as well as one of our partners. And we managed to create a fund for women so that they can grow, to try to fill the gap of investment and financing. We started a few years ago. It's getting more and more concrete and more real. We are learning a lot as well. But I think we can move forward on this one. And I know that some of the ladies who are going to pitch later on are part of Code V as well. So I'm really looking forward to hear the stories.
Thank you so much. Please, Anne Le Guellec, Director, International Enterprise Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Marcel Gerrmann, Ambassador for Business and Development, Director, Sustainable Economic Development, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you very much for the fireside chat. And we look forward to networking with you outside. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it for yourselves. Collaboration, this is what we do, and this is how we do it, and the why. I'm looking forward to the reason why we are here today. I'm looking at the front row, and all I'm seeing is these big smiles. We've been coaching them. They've traveled from different countries as well as the Netherlands. And so let's get down to the reason why we're here. If you're watching online, please root for your women entrepreneurs, and don't forget hashtag Startup Night Africa and tag us on Lionesses of Africa X, formerly Twitter, as well as Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. I want to introduce our 10 leading women entrepreneurs in growth mode and looking for investment from you in the room and new market opportunities. 5 of them are from the African continent, and as you heard, 5 of them are from the Netherlands, but doing business in or looking to expand into Africa. Marcel kept on talking about Kenya, so this is why we are here. Thank you for those impactful industries, business sectors. They all have growth and expansion of their minds to grow that impact. And so I hope you have downloaded the program. We had a QR code on there featuring each of our lionesses and their business profiles. And if not, please, if we can put up the QR code on the screens, that would be absolutely fantastic. So here we go. I'd like to ask the first group of lionesses to join me on stage in the order that they will be doing their pitches. Morongwe and Michel Mokone, co-founders, Most Crib, all the way from Mzansi Africa, South Africa. Please join me on stage. Diana Mbogo, founder, Millennium Engineers, Tanzania. And Rweyora, founder, Smart Havens Africa, Uganda. Claudia Castellanos, co-founder, Black Mamba Foods, Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. And lastly, Nkem Okocha, founder, Mamba Money, all the way from Nigeria. So some of you who were here last year, can I see a show of hands if you were here last year? Ooh, I like that. So this room is well equipped. This room is still to know. Okay, each of our women entrepreneurs have just 5 minutes. We have a counter, but I am also the official counter. At 1 minute, I walk up. At 30 seconds, they need to be wrapping up. At 00, they need to be absolutely off stage. They will pitch their businesses to you. Some of them are solely looking for investment, others for a combination of funding plus access to new market opportunities, partnerships, and collaborations. Without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, please can I ask Morongwe and Michel Mokone, co-founders, Most Cribs, South Africa. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Morongwe, and together with my sister Michel Mokone, we founded the business Most Crib. Moscrip is a manufacturing company that is based out in Pretoria, South Africa, and our focus is manufacturing sustainable products made from sustainable material. Some of the products that we made are made from recycled PVC water pipe that we collect from landfills and construction sites and weave that into different beautiful homeware crafts. Did you know that PVC is one of the least recycled plastics in the world? And we are recycling that product, being the only manufacturers in the world recycling that material and turning it into homeware goods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not just a basketry business. We are one of the leading exporters of craft in Africa, selling to international markets. You can find our products all over the world, in the USA, Canada, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, UAE. We've just also recently launched in Costa Rica. We have been mentioned by Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart. We've been on the Good Morning America as well as the Today's Show. The problem that we are solving is global, ladies and gentlemen. Environmental plastic waste, we all know about that. The rising unemployment rate in Africa, as well as lack of export opportunity for Africans such as ourselves. We are combating all of those challenges, being the recycling and the #1 recycler in Africa, recycling PVC pipe into homeware goods. We have so far recycled 6,000 tons of plastic, ladies and gentlemen, since the inception of our business just 5 years ago. We currently recruit 300 staff members, of which it's all 100% retention since our inception of our business 5 years ago. We are impacting over 1,500 lives every single month, being a South African-owned business. We're also, like I mentioned, one of the biggest exporters of craft, selling to international markets.
So where can you find our products? Moscrip supplies to Target, one of the largest retailers in the world. We also sell to Crate & Barrel, CB2, Woolworths, Mr. Price Home at Home, and Continental Linen. Currently speaking to Walmart and Lowe's, which shows future possible opportunities. But as you can see from our map, Europe is currently an untapped market, and therein lies the greatest opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to focus on the yellow placement on the map. That shows our production footprint. We have started producing our products solely in South Africa. However, over the past 5 years, we've managed to grow our production footprint working with artisans in areas such as Kenya, Rwanda, Ghana, Tanzania, as well as Malawi. In order to seize this opportunity, we are seeking $2.6 million as patient capital, and this will be directed towards 3 main strategies, such as international expansion. Of course, our sites are focused on Europe, as well as increasing production capacity. Currently, we've got 300 artisans, and we've got a strong goal to increase that to 10,000 artisans by the year 2030. That will be impacting 50,000 lives per month. Another goal of ours is to expand and grow our direct-to-consumer channel. And this will be done through research and development, product innovation, which will directly impact artisans. And this is a scalable model that can be replicated across international markets. Right now, I'll be sharing you a short snippet of our video showing our global recognition, our impact, and our brand growth over the years.
Yes, so this is about the gorgeous trays. This is from Mo's Print, started by his sister Mo and Michel Mokone out of South Africa. 90% of their workforce are women.
So a lot ends up in landfills. Mo and Michel need pipes of a certain thickness for their weaving process.
I'm in heaven. So basically, I'm in heaven. It's like, Candyland for kids. This is me.
So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, we're not just one basket business. We're a business that's making an impact in the world, in the environment, creating job opportunities, and being one of the export leaders that is in partnership with some of the biggest retail giants around the world.
We are investment ready, and we invite you to have a chat with us after this pitch to talk about how we can move this mission forward. Thank you. So I love that. They always get confused as twins. One is older, one is younger. They look alike, but they nailed it. You know when they go, yes, they know they did this. Diana Mbogo, up next, founder Millennium Engineers, Tanzania. A round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I come from a land that has a famous saying, most of you have heard it, Hakuna Matata. And what does it mean? There is no worries for the rest of your day. Problem is, I am worried. I am full of matata. My name is Diana Mbogo, and I'm the founder of Millennium Engineers, a renewable energy social enterprise based in Tanzania. And we are 100% female-owned, with experience of over 10 years currently. Why am I worried? Lake Victoria, the second largest lake globally, also shared among 3 countries, including Tanzania, provides food and jobs for over 4 million people. While the industry does all that, it is also faced by huge energy poverty issues across the entire value chains. From every evening where 500,000 fishermen go out on the lake just to fish using pressurized kerosene lamps, exposed to fumes, explosions, and at the same time cutting off their operational costs. And after all this work, they come back. The women rush in dawn, taking the produce. Do you know what they do? Spread it on open land spaces on the ground, exposed to pests, insects, birds, the main culprit being rainfall. During rainy seasons, they lose 70% of that produce, washed away back on the lake. And the 30 that remains, not used for human consumption, but rather animal feeds. I will take you back to a place I know you all have it on your bucket list, Zanzibar. While Zanzibar is well known for seaweed, it is the second globally, against Asia being the first, in the producer and export of seaweed. While 90% of these farmers and processors are women, they only capture 10 to 15% of the export market value of their produce. Imagine that. Do you understand my matata, my worries? But there's hope. You know, where there's a problem, every entrepreneur says, there is a solution. Working across the industry over the past 4 years with these fishermen, women traders, and women seaweed farmers, we've been able to develop the first of the kind across the entire sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you for the UNEP for giving us an award 2 years ago. Solar hybrid drying facilities equipped to dry 1.2 tons per intake within 3 hours. These traders and women are getting a premium price for their produce. Just against them, the fishermen are swinging in their boats, enjoying the cruise, and they're cutting down their operational costs by 40%. But also understanding these communities, we understand the socio-economic problems that they face and their status. It allowed us to work with them to develop different business models that helps the transition very quickly. Now, over the past 4 years, we've been able to move from piloting back in 2021 all the way to demonstrating the technology, the business model. We are ready for the plug and play commercialization. Now, we are sitting at a market value of 220 million USD annually, just in Tanzania, not globally, Tanzania alone. Now, I'll go straight to the question. With your money, we are first grateful for all the impact investors that worked with us, from the Nordic Development Fund to the Dune Foundation and DAT to the government of Tanzania. They could see the impact. They came in. And with $1 million over the past 4 years, we've been able to develop 2 industries, hosting 5 drying facilities and 500 lamps, just impacting 3,500 people a month. Can you imagine what 3 million extra will do? While all the previous investors are already in conversations for another 1 million, the government of Tanzania has also promised 30% of grant financing as subsidies for any future raises. So from moving from profitability, from breaking even to profitability next year, I say with a 60-year combination of talents, exposure, and experience in the field, and your money, hakuna matata. Thank you very much.
Well done, Diana. And Rweyora, founder Smart Havens Africa, Uganda. Please give her a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Anne Rweyora from Uganda, founder of Smart Havens Africa, a business social enterprise that is helping women to own climate smart homes while ending poverty. Did you know that a quality of a home a person lives in determines who they become in life? Did you know that? It's unfortunate that several years back, it so happened that I lost my father. And they are pictured on the right. And it is then that I realized how housing poverty affects all spheres of life: health, education, name it. Why? My mother had to spend most of her savings on housing rent. And I was lucky I met a co-founder pictured on the left. And together we have faced firsthand how housing poverty affects all spheres of life. Not only my mother, in Africa, over 48 million households are still living in substandard housing. In Uganda, it is noted that 70% of people living in urban areas are living in overcrowded housing. And yet, only 1% of the population can afford a housing mortgage, housing financing. They lack collateral. They lack the requirements that can help them afford this mortgage. It was also captured recently in the national newspaper that majority, 76%, are born to rent, which is very unfortunate. At Smart Havens Africa, rather than sit back and complain, we are helping women own climate smart homes, gain in financial independence, build their wealth, and thrive. How we do it? We press locally on-site available materials to create an interlocking brick that is helping us to build low-cost, yet very affordable homes. How? We also use a humane rent-to-own housing plan, where these women can rent to own, pay little by little on a monthly basis for a period of 8 years, thus becoming independent owners of these homes. Of course, they are paying while they stay in this affordable climate smart home. This is also giving us an opportunity to create green jobs to youth and women. We are training these women to also participate in a male-dominated field of engineering, helping them to be breadwinners for their families. How are we climate smart? Recently, we tested one of our communities and we achieved IFC certification. And this is in contrast, of course, to the traditional building methods that use quarry burnt bricks that are hazardous and have negative consequences to the environment, because our brick does not require this firing process. Please kindly join us, because since we started, we have built up to 120 homes, impacting over 3,000 lives. This also includes children. And we have also won the Africa Prize of Engineering Innovation. Our work has been showcased on CNN, BBC. Lionesses of Africa has been a very great supporter, and they have helped us to improve our visibility. we are very grateful to Lionesses of Africa. So please join us to even create more impact to more 330 families with just an ask of $1 million US. This will also help us to create over 500 jobs, while we shall become very scalable, create more sustainable impact, help us to achieve IFC certification, becoming net zero, helping us to create an Africa without housing poverty. Thank you very much.
I feel like that school teacher at 30 seconds, I stand up and then, well done. Up next, Claudia Castellanos, co-founder, Black Mamba Foods, Eswatini.
Thank you. Hi. Hello. Oh, yeah. This works, okay? Yeah. Sorry. I'm just very nervous to be behind a podium. Makes me feel like a politician or something. Good evening, everyone. My name is Claudia Castellanos. I am the co-founder and CEO of Black Mamba. I'm originally from Colombia, and after a stint in corporate life in Europe, I decided to come as a volunteer to Eswatini, former Swaziland, in Southern Africa, by any chance, as looking for purpose. And I found it in hot sauce. A pot of hot sauce cooked from the back of my kitchen has turned now into a growing, purpose-driven brand that supports over 1,000 people from rural communities and export products around the world. Clicker. No, hold on. This is the clicker? Yes, sorry. Am I? Oh. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Here. Yes. When I arrived to Eswatini, I quickly realized that smallholder farmers were battling with low income, access to markets, and also outdated agricultural practices. And then as a conscious consumer myself, I realized that I wanted clean label and I wanted flavor, but I had to just usually trade off between access, ethics, and taste. Black Mamba changes that. Black Mamba is a global brand that is mixing flavor with impact. We are willing to connect ethical foodies and heat seekers to sustainable African condiments and hot sauces that uplift entire communities. We work with smallholder farmers, mostly women, that are training regenerative agriculture. We buy the fresh produce from them, and we turn it into award-winning products that we sell to globally recognized retailers, distributors, and hospitality partners around the world. Even one of them is here in Holland, Oil and Vinegar, that you might recognize. But we are not only about impact. Black Mamba is also tapping into two very interesting and lucrative market trends. The hot sauce market is booming and expected to reach $6 billion by 2030. The spicy condiment segment within the condiment category is the fastest growing one. And on top of that, eco-active consumers are already bringing over $290 billion in purchases to the FMCG industry. And we sit right in that beautiful intersection. Our bold goal is to become the Sriracha of Africa, but just cleaner, better, and more meaningful. We've been growing our sales by doubling our revenue every 2 years, and we're on track to actually multiply our revenue by tenfold from $500,000 to $5 million by 2030 and uplift over 5,000 people from rural communities in Eswatini. In order to do that, we've taken a bold step to rebrand from this to this. So vibrant, modern, African, and obviously highlighting our main differences, which are sustainably sourced, no added nonsense. And so far, the take from our buyers have been overwhelmingly positive. And because we're all about community, we've decided to do this specific project as a crowdfunding campaign. By popular demand, we've decided to allow our fans and supporters to own a slice of Black Mamba. So if you are feeling that you want to join already our Food Revel movement, you can invest right here, right now. Just saying. But Black Mamba is not only powered by purpose, it's only powered by a group of kick-ass women. One of them here is Sarah Dusek, which is the managing partner of Enigma Ventures, the American VC with whom we raised our seed capital round in 2021. Why are we here tonight? Because I would like to invite you all to join us in scaling Africa's boldest food brand through several things. Obviously, capital. So we are at the moment only raising $400,000 as a bridge seed capital to lead us to Series A. But beyond funding, we are really looking to build strategic connections and hopefully some contacts with big target buyers such as, I don't know, Albert Heijn. And also advice. You know, it's very difficult to grow a social business, keeping your values and keeping your sanity throughout the journey. We're shaking food ecosystems the bold, fiery way with a spicy and fun African brand. So if you're ready to join a global movement that proves that food can only be good if it's good for you, good for the planet, and good for farmers to grow it, join us. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. You started off, yes, but you did it. You all did it. Lastly, in our pitching sessions, last in this group, please welcome Nkem, Okocha, founder, Mama Money, Nigeria.
Good day, everyone. My name is Nkem Okocha, founder of Mama Money. At Mama Money, our mission is to close the gender finance gap for low-income women, underserved women in our communities in Nigeria. So for many women in Nigeria who live in poverty, most of these women are termed as high risk because they do not have access to formal financial services. So most of these women in different communities across Nigeria lack access to digitized formal financial services. Most of them do not have access to other formal financial services like the insurance. So I'm so sorry. Yeah, yeah. So our problem is that we are trying to I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So our Mama Money, the challenge that we are trying to solve is close the gender finance gap. So we work with underserved women in different communities across Nigeria. Mainly, most of these women are termed as no income and low income. So for most of them, they cannot access loans, they cannot access other formal financial services. So what did we do? We created Mama Money Female Agent Network. So we have a network of women in different communities who are acting as community bankers, that's mobile money agents. So these women are conducting banking transactions for other women like themselves, so the underserved women who cannot go to the bank, commercial bank, because they do not trust formal financial services. So these women act as these bankers to our women and also conduct services for other women. So our business model is we have a network of female agents. They make money while they conduct financial transactions for people in their communities. And for every transaction that they conduct, we earn through that. Our serviceable obtainable market is 4 billion. Our serviceable addressable market is 70 billion. Then our total addressable market is 280 billion. So we are in a competitive space, but what sets us apart at Mama Money is because we are community driven. We go into communities where people do not want to go to. So we serve the women many don't want to serve. And also we do financial literacy trainings for our women. So we have like a mini business school for our women in different communities. We are teaching them how to keep record, how to record their expenses. These are the things that we do for our women. So our attraction so far, we've been able to impact over 600,000 women across different communities in Nigeria. Our women have recorded 40 to 50% household income increase. We've impacted we have like 5,000 agents across different communities in Nigeria. We've raised over $400,000 and we've received support from the Challenge for Youth and Unemployment. So the Challenge for Youth Employment, that's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Union Bank, Seed Stars, Luxembourg House of Technology, and the State Department. So our ask today is we are asking for $800,000 for us to acquire more devices. So our agents need our point-of-sale devices in their hands to conduct these transactions. And we also want to increase our team member. And also we are trying to do some growth experiments. So our team so far, our team has over 40 years of combined experience working in the formal financial sector, working in technology, and also working in formal financial services. As for me, Nkem Okocha, I have worked in the informal sector for almost a decade, so I have experience working with underserved women in different communities. I've also worked in a bank for almost a decade. So thank you very much.
My heart was racing for every single one of them. They came in under their 5 minutes. Please, well done, ladies. Give them a round of applause. Woo! Oh, my goodness. Sure. Remember, you have the opportunity, if you haven't already started networking with them, at the end of this session. Man, you can breathe now. I'd like to introduce Pascalle Grottenhuis, Director General, International Corporation. She is beaming because I think she's just going to end off this first pitch session. Please come and join me. Thank you.
Thank you. I will just speak from the heart because I think that's what today is all about. And maybe we can have a shout out for Melanie. And I know that she doesn't like it that it's about her, but my God, what has this woman done? So a big shout out. Melanie and I met 10 years ago, I think, in Mozambique when I had the honor to be Dutch ambassador. And Melanie came into my office and she wanted to change the Mozambican landscape. And I'm also looking at you, Signora Ambassadora. Changing the landscape for Mozambican entrepreneurs. And the embassy was also very much working on female entrepreneurship and building an orange corners. And I think Melanie and I, we just had the same drive at least, and also the same ambition. So we started together with the Standard Bank, organizing all kind of events. Oh, sorry, I always think I have a very loud voice, but this is probably better. Also for the online community, I'm sorry. But we just started working together, and I think we never stopped because we believe in the same dream to transform the African continent, to allow these amazing women who never give up, who fight endlessly, and who have great ideas and innovations just to change the world. And I'm just very happy to be here. And I think that one of the things actually that is, when we started talking, it was about hosting female entrepreneurs in Mozambique in my embassy or in Standard Bank, and then linking that network to the network in South Africa, and then linking it to all the other African places, and mentoring and having the magazine and the online editions, because it's really important to stick together and to build the network. And I'm amazed. I think when we met, you had 800,000 female entrepreneurs, and now you have almost 2 million. So that's why we gave her a big applause, because without you and also your family over there, I think this wouldn't have happened. And what I think is so important, and I think today is about networking, it's about connecting, and I'm so happy to see the ambassadors here, but also the agencies that we work with, and all the partners. It's about making all the dreams possible. And we've talked about how can we upscale it, and how can we make it big, and how can we get the visibility that you deserve. Because I think that the visibility is the bridge between what you do and all the talent and all the ideas that you have to the finances. So the visibility, I think, is key. So I'm super happy that you're so successful in what you do, and I'm just very happy to be sitting next to you and enjoying it. And yes, I am beaming, because if I had the money, I would invest in you myself. So I think it's so powerful, and you just blow us away. And I think some of you said it. It's about hope. It's about ambition. It's about change. It's about just getting it done. So thank you for inspiring me tonight.
Obrigada, Marcel. Thank you. So now we're going to take a short break from the pitches before moving into round 2. And we know that getting access to finance and growth funding is key to success for women. We've heard it year in and year out. But we also know this remains a huge challenge, and some of our speakers have already alluded to that. So our short panel discussion is on what's changed over the past year since we last got here in The Hague to change the situation for the better. So I'm going to ask Melanie to come back onto stage, and she'll be joined by entrepreneurs Hadija Jabiri, a founder GBRI Business Solutions from Tanzania, and Yvette Tetteh, co-founder Pure and Just Food Ghana. They were both here to pitch their businesses for funding in 2023 when we first came here, and they have grown their businesses since then. And even more, they are here back to pitch for the next rounding of funding. So, ladies and gentlemen, over to the panel and over to you, Melanie.
Thank you. As we said before, you were both here in 2023. Please share what's happened to your... mic on. Please share with us what's happened to your growth journeys in the meantime. 2 years, what's happened?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I even had to sort of take my mind back because so much has happened. But at the time, I was looking for funding to scale the dried fruit business that I co-founded with my business partner, Emmanuel Ampadu. In the 2 years since, we've actually been able to secure the financing, move to a new factory. And I look at the numbers sometimes, and even I'm surprised. We increased our capacity 10x. I don't know if I would necessarily advise anyone else to do that. It's kind of stressful, but we've managed to do it. It's really exciting. We went from a team of 20 people to a team of 100 people, which I always remember when I have to do the payroll. But it's the point of the work. So, so that's what we're doing, working with farmers and exporting to Nigeria and also to countries in the European Union like the Netherlands and Germany.
Fantastic to hear, and that's exactly the kind of story we want to talk about. Hadija, tell us what's been happening in your space since you pitched in 2023.
Oh, wow. Who was here in 2023? Please raise. Oh.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, it's okay. So not many of you, but have you ever heard of Mount Kilimanjaro? Yeah. That is where I am coming from, Tanzania. So a lot has happened, actually. When I came here, I was looking for $1 million, and I'm happy that we managed to get funding. And because of that particular funding, we did expand. We were just exporting horticultural produce to European countries, but we managed to set up a factory. So we are currently processing avocado oil. That has made us impact 20,000 smallholder farmers in Tanzania, Burundi, and now we are going to Rwanda. We have expanded in terms of market reach. We were just in European countries, but now we are exporting to India. We are exploring Chinese market. I am very happy with the fact that I get to lead that growth in the company, but I'm assisted by 52 permanent employees. In daily basis, we get between 150 to 200 employees who are coming to work. And whenever I want to give up, I just look at all of them and say, oh, I need to do it. And I am super, super grateful with Lionesses of Africa. You have featured our story, and people get to reach to us in terms of supporting us to do even more.
Thank you. That's what this is all about. Now, importantly, you're both now in a really exciting new phase of your business expansion. So please tell us what's happening in your current funding strategies, particularly looking at Europe, and what are you looking for? This is ask time.
Yes, we are looking for $2.5 million to expand to a new factory. It seems so insane to be already raising again, but actually, even in a year of operating at our current facility, we've pretty much maxed our capacity. And it's really, really hard to turn away purchase orders and clients and new connections when we know that those purchase orders and clients and connections translate to jobs and incomes and higher revenues for our farmers. So we're trying to move from this really great factory that's allowed us to grow to a new factory that's completely built from scratch that will allow us to increase only 3x, which is nothing compared to 10x, and also be closer to our farmers and also to incorporate more green energy technologies, which would be great.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Hadija.
Oh, yeah. So we are raising $6.5 million. We have divided that into 2 phases. So now we are raising 2.5. That is both CapEx and working capital. And the second phase will be $4 million. That is to go into a refinery. We are currently producing crude oil, but there is a huge market for for us to be able to refine the oil. And please join me. If you are looking for a company in Africa, I would say Jabiri is not just a company which is growing in terms of profit, but we are also impacting the community around us. The 20,000 smallholder farmers with this particular investment, I'm quite sure will go to 40,000 smallholder farmers, but also we are marketing their produce, and I know that leads to increased income and more employment opportunities.
That's fantastic. Those numbers are incredible. And when I look at both of your businesses over the last 2 years since you were pitching, wow. I mean, that's inspirational. I'm looking at all of our lionesses in the corner here. You're all in growth mode. Look at what 2 years can do. Look at what happens when you go from pitch to meeting investors. And I'm looking at all of you in the room now. That's what happens when you connect amazing projects, incredible women entrepreneurs, viable businesses, and investors. Well done. So the question I have to ask both of you, because, I mean, great stories and some really good people in the room for you to meet. Given your funding journey so far, what positive change would you still like to see to make this funding journey? We know it's still difficult out there, raising funds. What would you like to see change in the way women entrepreneurs can access funding and also get access to potential investors?
Yeah, so I know the landscape is changing. I remember knocking so many doors, especially when I was starting out. Things are getting better, even though there is a lot more which needs to be done. And to my perspective, I would say it's the right time to design gender-responsive financial products. I always say, instead of telling, let's say, a woman entrepreneur, come up, bring your 3 years financials, why not looking at mobile transaction history and use that to assess their capacity? I am from Africa, and I know this is not just a problem in Africa. Majority of women don't own collaterals. They cannot be financed because of that. I came straight from university. I had nothing, only just a business plan, and I know how hard it was for me to convince commercial lenders to be able to give me funding. So on that case of pushing them to have collaterals, why not coming up with so many guarantee schemes where they can be guaranteed? And trust me, if you are supporting women entrepreneurs, if you are investing in women entrepreneurs, you are quite sure that goes back to the society. And there is no way we can develop our continents if there is no financial inclusivity. So we are getting better, but we still need to work on that.
Okay, that's great. Great words. Great words. So we're looking at all of the financiers in the room right now. Let's do things differently. Jules, I think this is maybe a conversation we need to have. We know things are changing, but we need to have these conversations with women entrepreneurs to find out what is right for them. Yvette, what needs to change?
I I never thought there would be a day where I didn't just say we need money, because we always do need money. But I actually think there's a lot of funders in the room who want to provide technical assistance or capacity support, capacity development. And I think that's really important, but I think how that's implemented is really making a big difference as to whether it's actually helpful or not. And I think a lot of the times, funders want to do sort of group trainings or workshops or seminars, and these tend to not be that helpful. I think if I've been successful in fundraising the last few years, it's because I've had this really incredible privilege and fortune to work with an advisory firm that does a lot of one-on-one training. And I think we're so obsessed with really large numbers that, you know, the idea of doing something one-on-one or, you know, close doesn't seem appealing, but it is the most effective way. I've just been telling anyone who will listen that I've been crying over a 5-year financial forecast I had to put together, which I could never have done, at least well, by myself. But I had an advisor that I could meet with every week to go through the numbers, talk through my justifications with, have him check what I did. And that just makes it so much more able to actually get the funding from the people who do want to just give the money. So I really, this is my message all the time. It's like, please can we have one-on-one tailored training that actually helps us understand how to become investor ready.
And it also, yeah, absolutely. Well worth a round of applause. And I think it comes back to what a conversation Jules and I were having earlier on, and the work that we're doing on the capacity development program with AGF support, because it's exactly that. How do you combine both training, which is absolutely needed, with mentoring? And actually making sure that someone is walking the journey with you and you have that continual access to advice. Lionesses, thank you so much. Inspirational as always. I can't believe 2 years has flown, but congratulations hugely on what you've managed to achieve so far. We would love to hear some more success stories tonight, to see other investors wanting to walk the rest of that journey with you. So that's a call to all of you tonight. There are fantastic businesses here, ready to talk, ready to do business, ready to talk investment. Thank you so much. Round of applause, everybody.
Thank you very much, Melanie. Lovely to just see the two ladies in the room and giving you that are pitching and have pitched, it is possible. It can be done. It is doable. Right. Okay, so our second set of lionesses, they're from here in The Hague, and they're going to be joining me on stage. Can I please ask Inez van Oort, co-founder Fiber Foods Group, to come and sit next to me? Woohoo! When I saw her earlier, I said, give me some of that height. Marthe Paauwe, founder MoneyPhone BV. When I asked her, how do I pronounce your surname? She says, Power, Peacock, as you can see her top. Rahel Boon-Dejene, founder R&D Group. Woohoo! Linda Klunda, co-founder Kumasi Drinks BV. And lastly, Anita de Wert, founder Finwood Flavors and Fragrances. Thank you, my women entrepreneurs. Same format. The countdown clock is on at 1 minute. I will look at you. At 30 seconds, I will stand up. You know the drill. Just to remind you, 5 minutes, nothing more. And they are again looking for investment, others new opportunities, partnerships, and collaboration. So if you're watching them live, please just give them a wonderful shout out. There's no distance over the internet. They can feel you, they can hear you. First up, please give it up for Inez van Oort, co-founder Fiber.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Africa lovers. My name is Inez van Oort, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Fiber Foods. It was 2020 when I lived in Uganda with my family. It was there where I met Ineke Aquarius, who later became co-founder of Fiber Foods. The two of us wanted to make a big change for women in East Africa. We started in Uganda. where we both lived for 5 years. In order to really make it possible for women to generate a significant income, we thought that we should tap into a crop where men not yet were involved in. So no coffee, no cocoa, no vanilla, but it became jackfruit, a crop that was literally growing everywhere in Uganda, with such an abundance that it was going to waste everywhere. Kids would eat it, pigs would eat it, but 80%, nothing was done with that. Even worse, farmers already started to cut down their trees because they did not see the benefit financially, which was a shame because the jackfruit tree provides a lot of shade for all the crops below. At the same time, in San Francisco, they started to eat these buns with pulled pork jackfruit style snack. And we thought, hey, if these hipsters think this is so interesting, maybe we should start to develop a value chain in dried jackfruit. And that's what we did. So we started first to select 1,000 farmers, and we realized that creating work for them was not all that complicated, because the jackfruit tree doesn't need any extra water, it didn't request any work, which made it a lot easier. But we knew from the beginning that we wanted to ensure that the value was added near where the sourcing took place. So we wanted to dry near where the jackfruit grows. So we looked out for a vanilla producer. This vanilla producer was very successful, also sourcing, for instance, for Dr. Utker, and they worked with so many farmers that actually could only make money twice a year. So for us, it was a no-brainer that we should start to offer them the opportunity to also start sourcing jackfruit, and so we did. Besides that, their state-of-the-art dryers were only used twice a year. With us coming in, we could also provide much more work for all the workers there. Well, this is our dried product, the jackfruit, and from 2022, we really started to generate some traction on the market. Initially, this was pure traction focused on the alt protein world, so we were focusing on vegetarian meat products, but also hybrid products, of which I will tell you more later. But interestingly enough, more and more organizations start to understand that we need more fibers. We eat so much protein. We have plenty of it in our bodies. But 95% of the world population is not eating enough fibers, which really leads to diabetes, colon cancer, and more of these modern diseases, so to say. The fiber within jackfruit turns out to be very special. We just had it researched by TNO, which made us quite happy because it has very high prebiotic, probiotic purposes. And we believe that this could be a game changer. So in 2022, the first container started to reach in the Rotterdam harbor. And initially we thought, vegetarian product, that's the way to go. Let's use jackfruit for that purpose. But I think you are all aware that that market is actually not growing at all. It's staggering. And we want to really have a big impact and create less meat eaters. And how we do that is basically by now working together with meat companies. In the beginning, they were laughing at us, but nowadays they are obliged to start to sell less meat. And our jackfruit has a very meaty structure. It soaks up all the flavors of the spices where the meat is produced in. So take out just 30% of your meat from a burger or your chicken or whatever you can think of, a salmon burger, and replace it by our jackfruit. Honestly, for many producers, I believe, the reason that they want to work with this is that it definitely reduces their price, but we are very happy that it creates a less footprint. We are a social enterprise, and that is proven best by the fact that we built our own food chain from scratch, meaning that all our farmers get fair wages. The good thing of owning it yourself is that you can ensure that all of this is happening. We are very proud, besides that the footprint of our jackfruit, all the way from Uganda and Kenya, is actually lower than all the ingredients that are currently used in the plant-based domain. Why? Because we use, for instance, the power from the Nile. And other than that, it's a tree that's already there. So the footprint is only 340 grams per kilo, which is quite unique. Well, these stories are all well and nice, but at the end of the day, it's all about market. And we are proud that McDonald's nowadays decided to put our jackfruit in their typical Dutch McCroket. And I would like to state that this is only possible, all of this, because of organizations that believe in you from the beginning, like Invest International. I want to thank you for your attention, and I would love to have a drink later with the investors here in the room and discuss further how we jointly can help to grow ingredients from Africa to Europe. Thank you so much. Was I that long? Sorry.
My fellow women entrepreneurs, 5 minutes moves at the speed of lightning. Well done, and thank you. Up next, Marthe Paauwe, MoneyPhone BV.
Yes, thank you. So indeed, my name is Marthe Paauwe. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MoneyPhone. Have to grab this one. Is it on the screen? Okay. So fintech is booming in Africa. The fintech industry is often discussed in numbers. Billions of dollars are invested, millions of users, and countless apps and applications. But for me, it's only a real fintech revolution when everybody is included, everywhere, and at any time. So look at the lady in the middle. Her name is Lucy. She's a farmer, and she started with a loan of MoneyPhone of only 70 euros. With that 70 euros, she was able to buy some seeds. And from the first profit of her first harvest, she was able to buy her first land. And now she has her third loan. When I recently met her, she got her third loan, and it's a loan of 1,700 euros. Now she's farming as a business. She's hiring other people. She has invested in solar irrigation. And what I noticed even more when I met her was not only that she's improving her life, but also that she has really increased her confidence. She became one of the most outspoken leaders of the cooperatives. And that, to me, is what a real fintech revolution should look like. But still today, we have about 2 billion people underbanked in the world. And those are women, refugees, youth, smaller farmers. And why? Because they face barriers like no collateral, having to travel to bank branches far away from their activities. And having to go through slow and paper-based processes. In Rwanda, which I will focus this evening, where we are licensed by the central bank, 70% of the population are farmers, but still they are excluded by the financial industry because they are seen as too risky. And then they miss out on the most crucial moment when they need a loan to buy seed, to buy fertilizers, or to invest in irrigation. So globally, the industry of microfinance is worth around 250 billion USD. In Rwanda alone, 1 billion USD. But yet that money does not reach a large part of the population. This is where MoneyPhone comes in. We provide seasonal loans without any collateral and guaranteed by the cooperatives. We do that in a very fast way, so disbursements within 5 days and repayments after the harvest. We use AI-based credit scoring and use other data points such as historical production and sales data. We are fully digital, so no traveling, no delays, no cash. And we have loan officers in the field who train our farmers on digital and financial literacy and planning. And for the investors, we cut out the middle layer that really creates a lot of cost. So we cut them out, so no intermediate funds of funds, no MFI in between. So our track record really shows that our model works. In 2 years after getting our banking license, we were able to reach almost 8,000 farmers with a non-performing loan rate of below 5%, which is well below the industry average. Our portfolio is growing with more than 50% each quarter. And we also were able to expand already to green finance, so loans for clean cooking and solar irrigation systems. So the story of Lucy is not unique. There are many farmers like her. Our loans really turn survival into growth. Farmers are becoming entrepreneurs, women are becoming leaders. Repayments are building historical track records, and each euro repaid is supporting a new borrower. So it's not just finance, it's really a transformation. So what is so different about MoneyPhone? Because I know there are many fintechs out there. So what is different about us is our combination of technology and trust. So we are tech native, so we are fast and data-driven. But we also really build on existing local structures, like market and social structures. So for example, the cooperatives in Rwanda, and we are leveraging on social capital. So we are a very scalable and secure platform. And with a much lower cost than the traditional MFIs, we are able to offer lower interest rates to our clients and better returns to our investors. So this is tech, not tech versus people, but tech with people. So we are ready to scale because the demand is very high and the model works. So far, we have secured 5 million euros in growth capital. Last week, I signed my first credit line with the World Bank. Very exciting moments. And we are now seeking for 20 million euros to lend out so that we can reach more than 100,000 farmers in Rwanda, that we launch more financial products in agriculture, but also beyond. And of course, we want to move beyond Rwanda only. It's a beautiful country to prove the case, but we want to expand to other countries. Yes. How much? We can leave it there.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Right, Rahel Boon-Dejene, founder, R&D. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Sorry, Yes, in the meanwhile, do you know how often I cannot open my iPhone? I don't have iPhone actually, it's Samsung. Neither my tablet. But my daughter, who is a bit lighter skin, she can always open my iPhone. So, yes. This is not by design, it's by neglect, because technology companies ignore to train their data as inclusive as possible. Especially data for countries in Africa are fully neglected. This is not due to, there's a lot of challenge, but just to summarize, how AI data is working is that it's trained based on available data on the internet. Majority of Africans, I think some of the countries may agree with me, they are not available. So most of the data are not available, which means that the data that we are accessing are only exclusively available for people that are looking white-skinned and are accessing data for different reasons than Africans. So unfortunately, the global space has been ignoring that, and we hope to make a difference in this. It can only be possible to include others if we are taking African into the digital space. Our mission is very simple. We want to have a space where data annotation is accessible for African talents for digital spaces in AI globally. We do that by connecting crowdsourced African talent pool that can work digitally to train data in a more inclusive, diverse, and rich way. We do that by working with organizations, hopefully with governments, that are currently sitting on strong data and that are not yet trusting global AI companies to train their data. At the same time, we would like to make it more accessible by having openly available data specifically to this continent. As you can see, the global space, it's growing. Unfortunately, it's not taking African together with us. And what we are trying to do is let's have cost-effective, diverse, and inclusive data to train data industry. With this, we are doing so by working for smaller AI companies that are looking for accurate data by connecting them to specifically Ethiopian and African talents to train the data effectively. Big AI companies, they can work on our platform, accessing talents across Africa. And at the same time, we are looking for organizations like the governments and research organizations to co-create data sets that are accessible for everybody. And this doesn't come from nothing. We have been in the space for the last 14 years before AI was a buzzword. We actually were training data for global sport technology, which was used by organizations like FIFA. And the company in the platform has been acquired by Sportradar, one of the leading software companies in the world. So with that experience, we have built a platform which is more accessible because it's not location bound, and it's accessible for more sectors than just sports. So think about healthcare, where we can train data sets for different healthcare industries, but also agriculture, climate, and so forth. So that's why it's so essential also to have diverse, compliance, and social value solution for AI industry. Because the way it's developed now, it's leaving Africa behind. We would like to be one of the companies that's including Africa into the new revolution in the AI space. For that, obviously, we are looking for partners to work with us, governments, institutions, AI companies, and any person interested in African talent. But at the same time, we are raising our first round so far in terms of pitching. We have raised $6 million from MasterCard Foundation to train 25,000 Ethiopian talents, 75 of them being women, 10% being people with disability and disadvantaged groups. So for now, we are looking for partners to work with us to help us to design a space where we can include these data sets as needed. And raising 4 million, because the money we raised so far is specifically for training. We are now looking for partners to help us to design an AI platform that's more, accessible to global space. So just inviting you, join us to involve Africa in becoming not only consumer, but also producers of AI solutions. Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you. Right. Up next, Linda Klunda, co-founder, Kumasi Drinks BV. A round of applause for her.
Good evening. Is it working with the tech side? I had a video, but then I wanted to have another video, and he said, yes, we can do it, but I always change my mind last minute. Is it gonna work? Okay, no worries, just go to the presentation, then we'll... So I actually, of course, I came here to pitch, but I actually want to start with asking you a question. Do you know which fruit this is? Cocoa, yeah. Oh, yay, hello. It's a cocoa fruit, exactly. And we all know cocoa, because we all love chocolate, at least I do. But as a chocolate consumer, I wasn't aware for a very long time that my favorite snack, the chocolate bar, is coming from this fruit. And that's a problem. And why is it a problem? Because cocoa is way more than just a bean. When we eat a chocolate bar, we are using just the seed of this delicious product. And that's a shame. Because we're first of all wasting around 75% of a product that can be used. There's no logic in that, but business as usual is just about making the money, making the profit of the beans. We've seen cocoa prices skyrocketing, but we're still leaving 75% of value on the table. And that's not only economically stupid, it's especially stupid from a social development perspective. Because at the beginning of the supply chain, there are the farmers who are working for our chocolate bar, who are working to get that chocolate bar in our Albert Heijn, in all the stores, but the pulp is just being wasted, just as the husk. And you can do a lot of stuff with that, and for that, you can pay the farmers. So that's why we squeeze cacao fruit, not the farmers. We pay farmers for something that they can use, that we can pay them for, and that we can use to make delicious products. This is not the video I wanted to show you, so I'm pausing here because it's a bit too long and I don't have that much time. But how did we get this idea to start squeezing a fruit that I didn't know as a chocolate consumer that you could do? It was by making a documentary. So we made a documentary, my co-founder made a documentary, and I helped him when he was working on it after some time, on the cocoa supply chain of Nestlé. Nestlé, we all know them. They make delicious chocolate bars, but they didn't do anything with the pulp. And when we saw that during the making of the documentary, that we tasted the pulp for the very first time, we were so surprised that we thought, okay, we have to do something with it. And we started with a Dutch consumer product. It's our Kumasi Drinks. And it was the start for an entire journey to valorize a previous waste product into a delicious consumer product. But we're not stopping there. For the past 2 years, I've been living in Ivory Coast to build our very first factory where we're going to upcycle the entire fruit. We're starting with the juice itself. So this is our factory, and we're working with several partners. We're starting with the juice, but there's way more to upcycle than just the pulp. We can do something with the husk. There are all other types of products that we can upcycle it into, and we can also do something with other commodities that are in West Africa. Therefore, we've actually changed our name from Kumasi Drinks BV to Kumasi Commodity Innovations, focusing on everything we can do with waste streams at the beginning of supply chains, all focused on making impact at the farmers who make the inputs for our favorite consumer products. To do this, we've actually just raised 2.5 million euros to build it. Thank you. And just sounds like that was a specific moment. It took us around 2 years, so it's been quite a ride. We're now building this with partners as, for instance, Tony Chocoloni, who is one of the investors. We're, of course, also very proud of that. And we hope also very soon that we can launch some products with them on the market. But my ask is mainly to this side of the room, to the ambassadors. We want to launch our products not only on the Dutch market. That's where we started. That's where our network was. To build a business, you need a network. So that's why we started with Dutch consumer product. But our main aim is to be on the West African market, and afterwards broader on the African market. The end of this year, our first product is going to be on the Ivorian market, but we're looking forward to also expand into other countries. So if you think that our product could be a great fit with your consumer base, I would love to talk. Or if there are other products that are wasted and that we can further develop, also would love to do a Kumasi. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I like this. She's not waiting for an intro. She's like, I'm here. Give it up. She's been waiting for an entire evening. Number 10 of our entrepreneurs, Anita Dept, founder, Finwood Flavors and Fragrances. Your 5 minutes starts now.
It was actually so exciting meeting Linda here, and I'm sure her product will be a hit because the beverage market in West Africa is a market of $25 billion, and it is increasing every year by 5%. So the market is there. So I'm Anita Dept, Finwood Flavors and Fragrances. And I am very proud that we are a family-owned company. It fits into the community thinking of Africa. I'm doing this together with my husband, our son, our daughter, and myself. And my other son, who's in the audience here as well. He's the husband of my daughter. Right? Shouldn't forget him. Very important person as well. So together, we are actually like an omni person. It is so exciting because there is no challenge, no opportunity we can't tackle. We have, some of us are very detailed oriented. Some of us are more visionary. Some of the youth is just wanting to take all the risks. Some of the oldest are thinking, hey, but retirement is around the corner. So just being all of this together is what makes it very exciting operating in Africa. And for us, we believe that the future tastes Africa. Because in our journey, we realized there's actually no flavor house in Africa. A house that makes flavors, compounds, and emulsions. We are among the 10 largest factories right now in Nigeria. We have our production facility in Nigeria, but we are rapidly expanding. So to start off, just a timeline, because I think Melanie was asking what are some of the things that female entrepreneurs need from investors. I think that we need speed, but I also think we need an understanding for the ambition. I think women do not think big enough. Again, my omni person, 2 males, think big. And therefore, they push me also to think big, because the market is big. So we started, oh dear, halfway my time, please. So we started in 2016. We started as a trading house. So we didn't, so we developed flavors. We were with partners developing the flavors, developing the taste, but we had third parties who were producing for us. Now, along the journey, we started to create our own lab. We got to know Invest International, thank you. They believed in us. We built our first, I call it now a pilot plant, but it was our first production in Lagos. We started operating the end of last year. We are at full capacity within a year. And right now, what we need to do, I know the lady, X10, yeah, we are there and beyond. So we need to reduce actually our commercial team because we can't fulfill the orders. Our orders, our customers, they're Dutch customers, the Heineken, the Friesland Campinas, but also local champions. We are not only doing this in Nigeria, we are doing this in Ghana, we are doing it in Ivory Coast, we are going to work together. And we're doing it also on the East Coast, Kenya and Tanzania. We are wanting to further expand on the African continent, but we need money. So our ask right now is 20 million. Oh, let me just mention also this. We are actually, our factory is FSSC certified. Just happened 2 weeks ago. FSSC certification is the highest food certification you can find in the world. So that means our precision manufacturing in Nigeria is possible. Yeah, we are doing this with the processes, we are training people, it is all possible. Everything can happen in Africa. So being excited like that, we're asking for a 20 million to build our next factory so that we can we can satisfy the demand. Not only that, we are expanding also a little bit into the power flavors as well, because we see that there are huge opportunity. It saves more cost for our customers. There's so many more things that I want to tell you. I think Nigeria, West Africa, Africa is an exciting continent to be, and I identify, nowadays we can all identify ourselves. I identify myself as a Kenyan, as a Dutch, and as a Nigerian. Okay?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our second round of pitch. You may take your seats. Again, I'll say 5 minutes moves by so quickly. You think, oh my goodness. Right, we started a little bit late. Thank you for being with us. Shh. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you're excited. Can I please ask Melanie to come up on stage? We've got exciting news and developments that will impact the lives of the women entrepreneurs in this room and also those watching online. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you so much. I don't know about all of you, but seriously, great impact, great stories, visibility, that's what it's about. We've got the most incredible businesses on the African continent, started by women, being grown by women, that are investor ready. Okay, now's the time. We've shown just a small number of them. There are millions more, and our job is to help you to see them. As we always do at the end of a startup night, I just want to bring you up to speed because we talk about impact, and this event is all about creating impact. I'd like to share a quick update with you on 3 of the impact projects that to support women entrepreneurs that Lionesses of Africa is currently delivering. Some of them you will have heard of, and it's just a case of giving you a quick update and a little bit of news. In August, we completed the training phase of our capacity development program to improve funding readiness, that all-important word, for 300 women entrepreneurs in South Africa. This important project was backed by the Africa Guarantee Fund, and I have to say a big thank you once again. Together with their preferred financial institution, ABSA. And this was part of the AFAWA initiative. They've walked an incredible journey with us. They continue to do so, and it is making a real impact and changing lives. For that, I thank you all. This program has built a pipeline of credit ready women SMEs that have now improved their ability to go and access bank finance to fund their business growth. And that's what this is all about. We look forward to doing many more with you, Jules. We will talk. Another of our live projects, you will not probably have known about this unless you are watching our websites, watching our social media platforms avidly. You will see we have an exciting project that is rolling out right now to identify innovative women-led tech businesses across the African continent. It is the Tech Found Her Africa Challenge, and we have our incredible partners at Process NASFUS with us in the audience today. It offers women tech founders the opportunity to win up to $100,000 in equity-free grants, mentorship, and visibility, that all-important word, to accelerate their business growth in areas such as agri-tech, ed-tech, health tech, fintech, in areas, just to name a few. This high-impact project is powered, as I said, by NASFUS Process and delivered in partnership with Lionesses. And it is now open for applications. If you are one of those companies in Africa, and I'm looking now at all of those incredible women entrepreneurs joining us online, we encourage those women founders to apply today. Take the next step towards Africa's real innovation and apply. Go to lionessesofafrica.com to find out more. And a big thank you to the team at Process NASFUS for all of your incredible innovation in this space. We are going to make real lives change. And finally, our ongoing research project to address the gendered gap in data, that all-important word. Finances always say to us, where's the data? Show us the data. Our research project right now is to identify really high-growth women entrepreneurs to get the data to support better policy making and investment decisions to address the need to understand women entrepreneurs' specific financing needs and the challenges in creating genuinely high-growth, funding-ready businesses in Africa. We want to do more research like this because we never want to hear again, show us the data, because that's holding us back from making those investments happening. I want to thank all of our incredible valued partners. I'm looking at some of our incredible ones on the front row today who join us to make this happen. Let's continue to partner and to collaborate. Together, we can go further, we can change more lives, and we can really genuinely drive economic change on the African continent. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Melanie. He started off our evening, officially opened it. He will close it again. If I can please ask Peter Derrek to come up. It's time to pledge to act for the women entrepreneurs in this room and those watching online. Thank you, Peter Derrek.
Thank you.
Is it on?
I'm not sure.
Yes,
yes, it's on. I'm going to be very brief. I'm sure you're not waiting for another speech. I already spoke at the beginning. I just want to do two things. First of all, I think we've heard, and Melanie and the Lionesses, you've given us a fantastic evening. Thank you very much. And I just want to ask you to give a big round of applause to the 11 women entrepreneurs. We have really been blown away by your amazing pitches. So thank you very much for that. As we announced at the beginning, now it's time for you to commit. It's time to take out your phones, and several of you are already on their phones, which is a very good thing because you knew what was coming. So please, I would like to ask everybody to take out their phones. If you're not taking out your phones, I'm going to ask you to take out your credit cards or checkbooks. Sure. So it's entirely up to you. But it's, as was said by many of the speakers, we're in this together. We are partnering. Everybody can contribute. So we would like you to pledge how you can contribute. And my boss, the Director General, has already pledged her entire life savings. She said she wants to give all her money to, and I think you can all do better than that. So please think, and please write down how you can contribute. And it does not necessarily have to be money. I mean, money is of course great, it's the best thing, but we can all contribute something. And we can all, and I still don't see everybody on their phones, so please scan the QR code and contribute. And I think if we have done that, then it's time for networking. Yeah. So I hand back the phone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter Derrek. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had, let me just put this down, an incredible evening. Thank you so much to everyone that has made today happen. Melanie, I salute you. We've been walking this journey for a very long time together. I think since 2017, 18. We are here now at The Hague, the third time around. And to everybody that's been with us today, we honor you and thank you so much. We look forward to the pleasures and look forward to seeing these incredible women come back one day and testify about what the greatness that has happened in this room. So thank you for those kind words, Peter Derrek, very appreciated. Thank you to all our inspirational speakers, those that got onto our platform just to love on us and really just push the women entrepreneurs. And thank you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the team behind you, Peter Derrek. Thank you for always being with us and just really championing with Melanie here in the Netherlands. I just want to say thank you to African Guarantee Fund for partnering with us. Thank you, Jules. That smile says the money is coming, but how? Thank you very much. I'm not going to hold you back. To everybody that's watching online, it's been an incredible evening. Thank you very much. Startup Night, third time here in The Hague. # Startup Night Africa. My name is Nomalanga Stole, Intombe Balamalanga. You are free to, we say network, but I want you to connect. This is partnership. We grow together, further together. Before we leave the room, can I have all 11 of the women come up front? We want to take a bow and just thank you for being with us. You came straight from work and you came to listen quickly. And let's just honor the men and women in the room that have taken the time. Stand up, come through. Yeah, some of you can come on stage. Yeah, come on stage with me. Quickly hold hands. Quickly hold hands. There's no time to think. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a bow. 3, 2, 1. Another one. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Fantastic. You can take your seats. As they grab their bags and get themselves ready and back into the networking, please, let's chat. Let's give them all that they need, financially, non-financially. Until next time, I want to say thank you to one man standing right at the back. I'm going to get nailed on this one. But James, thank you. He goes through their pitches, just how it should be done. Mr. James Bowman, we highly appreciate you. Until next time, take care and God bless.